Hey, welcome back. All right, so in the last tutorial, we worked on the boost function some more so that we could put it into the HUD so you could see we start off with a boost, and then when we hit the shift key, the boost slowly gets used up. Or over 5 seconds, it's all used up. But we have not yet set it up so that it refills. And that's what we're going to do this tutorial. We're going to do a refill for our boost so that it is something that is constantly available for the player after a period of time. So let's go ahead and jump in and take a look and see what that looks like. Okay, so right here in my demo, you see that this is what we're going to do this time. We're going to do the refill boost. We're going to have to add in a few more, one or two more variables. We'll have to take a look at that. And then we're going to kind of plug all this in. We're going to create a loop so that it continues to go on as long as it meets a certain criteria. And then we'll, after it does, it will stop trying to fill. All right. And again, if we take a look at it in our player, we hit the play button down in the lower left-hand corner. If I move forward, hold the shift button, boost gets used up. And then when I let go of it, the boost will slowly come back up over a period of time. And that's what we're going to work on. Okay, so let's go ahead and get our player. So in our player blueprint, this is the boost function. We start off here by holding down the shift button. And we have set this function up to this point right here so that it uses the boost up and it goes away. And let's go ahead and we can delete this print string right here. We don't need that anymore. All right. And then let me make sure I got it all taken in. Okay, we do. All right. So we're going to actually pull off from right here. When we let go of our button, we want to start having the refill. The reason why we're doing it after we let go of the button is so that basically it forces the player to stop using boost, because if you hold the button down and it slowly refills, yeah, it'll refill while you're holding the button down, but that's not really the gameplay that we're wanting to have happen. There is a possibility where while we're boosting, our player could die. So again, we're going to first do a check to see if our player is still alive. So we're going to pull out this function and we're going to get a branch. And connect it up. There we go. Okay, so now we've got that, and over here my variables all collapsed on me, but we'll add these in. We're going to be concentrating on our boost, so I'll go ahead and push those down first. So the first thing we're going to want to do is we're going to set up another condition. So we're going to do a check. So right in here, I'm going to just drag this down like this out of the way. We're going to do a check to see if a criteria is met for us to be able to apply boost and then to stop applying the boost before we go into the function. The way we're going to do that is we're going to take our boost remaining and we're going to get the boost remaining. So whatever our boost remaining is, and right now we have it at 5 seconds, and we want to do a less than. So if it is less than, so if we hold the shift key and get the less than symbol, less than 100. So if our boost is not 100% full, hey, so this is me kind of jumping in here because we've already got this done, and in editing I was going back and realized that I had made a little bit of a mistake. So let me fix that here real quick before we move forward. All right, so basically here, when we talk about getting this condition set up so that our boost remaining is less than 100, it's always going to be less than 100, because why? The value of boost remaining is 5. Okay, so it's always the max that this is going to be is less than 100. So this was the wrong variable to put in here. I was thinking 100%, but we're never actually referencing 100% in our HUD. We could, but we're not going to do that. It just makes it too complicated. So what we're going to do instead is we're going to take our max boost time, so that if you decide you want to make your max boost time bigger than 5 seconds, it'll automatically update this as well. So if your boost remaining is less than whatever your max boost time is, then it will automatically continue to fill. That way, it's 5 seconds. So once this is less than 5 seconds and meets that condition, this will fill. Again, overthinking it, thinking the wrong way. 100% and does not equal 100. Max amount was 5. So we'll get that set up and get that fixed. And I'll let you get back to the rest of the video. We also want to check to see if we're doing boosting. So in other words, even though we're letting go of our button here and we shouldn't be boosting, there is a condition where potentially we could refill. Once it starts in a loop, we could be refilling and it'll stay inside that loop as long as we're holding the button down. So we want to do a check to make sure that that is not happening. So we're going to have to go back in and we're going to have to create a new function right back here at the beginning so that we can test to make sure that we're not. So I'm going to make a little bit of space right here. Actually, I can do it in front of that. We'll do it in front of this. Let me grab these. I'll push that direction just a little bit. Kind of clean this up a little bit. And then I'm going to grab this one and slide it over. Okay, so now let's go ahead and make that variable. So right here, we're going to hit the plus symbol. This is going to be a Boolean because we're going to check to see if we are, so I'm going to call it isBoosting. So isBoosting, it's going to be a variable, a Boolean rather, either true or false. And then I'm going to pull it out and we're going to set it. And then right here, if we're holding the button, we are boosting. So this is true. So I'm going to go ahead and plug this in right here. And I'm going to mark the little checkbox in there and make this true. When we let go of the button, we are no longer isBoosting. So I'm going to set it. When we let go of the button, this condition is no longer true, so I'll leave it unchecked right there. So now we have isBoosting. So what we're going to do down here is we're going to do a Boolean that has two conditions set to it, and they both have to be true in order for the branch to take the true route as opposed to the false route. And the way we're going to do that is we're going to get isBoosting, so we're going to get, and we're going to also get a not for this. So not isBoosting. So this would be true if it is not boosting. So if we type in not B for not Boolean, we're going to get the not condition right here. So we're going to check to see if we are boosting. If we're not, so in other words, false, we've let go of the button. And we're going to put both of these together. So the way we're going to do that is called an AND Boolean. Both of these conditions have to be true. I'm just going to kind of park it down over here. And then I'm going to get another branch. So up here, I'm going to pull out, I'm going to get a branch. I'm going to plug this in here. You can clean it up however you want. Right now I've kind of got this all scraggly looking. Kind of clean it up just a little bit. All right, so if that is true, then we're going to want to go ahead and start refilling the boost. So if we're still alive, if the boost is less than 100, and we're not boosting, so we're not holding down the boost button, then this would be a condition that will happen. We're going to have a little bit of a delay so that this doesn't happen right away. It's not going to be a long delay. And we're also putting this in here because we don't want the boost to just all of a sudden just fill up instantly. We want to kind of have a time delay. And we'll take care of that in a second. So this is going to be a 0.1. So 0.1 will work for this. And now we're going to want to take this and we're going to set boost remaining. Because remember, in our HUD, we're using boost remaining. So we're going to set boost remaining. And the way we're going to set that is we're going to get our boost remaining. So our current boost remaining, and we're going to add it to something. In this case, our boost regeneration, which is a variable we haven't created yet. So we're going to come back in here for our variables. And you know what, while I'm thinking about it, let's click on this isBoosting. Let's put this in the right category. It's going to be in the boost category. We're also going to add a new variable. And this is going to be, I called it boost regen for regeneration. And this is going to be a float. So we're going to change it to float. We're also going to put it in the boost category. Now we need to compile it and save it so that we can add a mount down here. And because of the way we're using this, we're going to set it at 0.01 so that it slowly starts to refill and kind of gives us a build-up over time. Our boost bar is only 5 seconds long, and if we do it for 1 second, it'll be filled pretty quickly. We want to have a little bit of delay time so that it kind of gives the player this requirement to wait before they can use boost completely again. Now, there'll be added boost in and they can use it, but it won't be as long as it would normally be. And you'll see how that works here in a second. So we're going to take this and we're going to get it. We're going to add both of these together. So we want the add float. Add them both together. And also for the both of these floats here, I'm going to open the eyes up on both of these. That way you can play around with this in your viewport and kind of get the feel for what you're looking for. Just because I have it set up a certain way doesn't mean that's the way it's got to be. You're the developer of your game. I want you to be able to set it up the way you want to. Okay, and now the other thing we need to do is once we set it, we're also going to need to clamp this because remember we have a minimum value of 0. We don't want it to go below 0, which it won't be the way it's set up. But we also want to have set our max, right? We have a max boost time down here, which is 5 seconds. So what we're going to do is we're going to clamp this. Remember, clamp float. I'm just typing clamp and find it. There we go. And then I'm going to grab my max boost time right here. I'm going to get it, and that's going to be my limit for my top amount. I'm going to leave that 0 right there. I'm going to plug this in right here. And now the last thing we need to do is we want this to repeat. We want it to go through the process. So we want to check to make sure that this is happening and that we're less than 100. If we're less than 100 and it's true, then we'll go through this process one more time. And then we'll check again and check again until it is no longer true over here. And it'll stop filling. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab from the output of the set and we're going to go to the input of the branch. And I'm going to slide that down just a little bit so I can see this input right here. I'm going to double click on it. Kind of do this to make it look like it's a loop. So we know that that's what we've done. We've set a loop up here. Now, this loop actually has a condition so that it's not the type of loop that's going to cause us basically to crash our computer because it's a closed or endless loop. This loop will actually have the criteria first, and it'll check and then go through it. So we're going to compile this and save it. And now let's go ahead and test it to see if this is actually going to work. So I hit play, and I start to go, and then I boost. I should lose my boost. If I let go, the boost should start to build back up over time. And I can go ahead and get it all the way down to 0, and then my boost should stop. But I'm still holding down the key, so it's not going to refill. As soon as I let go of the shift button, it should start to refill again. And you can see that it is. And if I hold down shift again, it'll go back up. All right, and really that's it for this tutorial. Hopefully everything worked out for you. If you have any issues or any problems, please put it down in the comments section. Don't forget to like this video and this tutorial and subscribe to my channel so that you can follow along with what we're working on. I'll see you next time, and thanks for playing.